our special prosecutor had an interview the other day with, I think it was on GH1 or so, with Nana Abba. And he made it clear that when he reported to his office, there was only one person on payroll. That the institution, though the law was passed, it wasn't set up. That is now up to him to actually set up the office of special prosecutor. In other words, create all the department and etc. But we've had this creation of the special prosecutor used as one of the ways that the current government was fighting corruption. And we are talking about a government that has been in power for 5 years now. And this, institution was formed in 2018, and until today, it is now taking the new appointed special prosecutor to actually formulate the structures of the organization that is supposed to be, overseen. And he also made something that was profound. He made a comment that I find profound. He says that it is in the acts, or the act gives him the power to audit or to investigate election results. He also says that he saw on his handing over notes issues with perhaps the executives actually interfering with previous investigations that were conducted, or the Ajapa corruption risk that was conducted by his predecessor. But he doesn't want to dwell on.
What we're doing now is we're actually building the ship as we are sailing.
How bad was this ship?
Well, the office was established in 2018. That's the establishment under the Act. The Act was passed by Parliament in 2017, but the assent was given early 2018. By the middle of 2018, the office had been established. The special prosecutor, then deputy special prosecutor, then were in office. So imagine my shock when I go in to the office after 5th August, and I noticed it has been established, but it hadn't been set up, and it hadn't been operationalized. So I am setting it up and operationalizing it.
So throughout the period, nothing was happening in that office?
I wouldn't say nothing was happening. Things had been done.
Okay.
A lot of it, I said at the vetting that they were teething problems.
Okay.
But the office hadn't been set up.
Okay. When you say set up, what do you mean?
All right. So there are certain structures that you need in respect of this office. There are divisions, there are departments, there are units, and all of that. None at all. When I took up.
Not a single department.
None.
At least you had a front desk executive.
Well, I won't even say so.
So it was that bad?
I won't even say so. I'm being very blunt here. Okay, so the Act itself provided for establishment of some divisions, and if the board was minded to create further divisions, not a single division. There's no HR. There's nothing.
So how many staff members do you have at the moment?
Good question. So when I went in, I think I told the Attorney General this when I met him a few weeks ago. Really no staff.
None.
Let me explain.
Okay.
Let me explain. There's only one person. When I went in, there's only one person on the payroll. One. I won't disclose who. It was just one person.
The special prosecutor then?
There was no special prosecutor when I went in.
When you went in, of course,
yeah, so,
the special had resigned. So there was only one person.
There's only one person on the payroll.
Okay.
So you have chief accountant who is on secondment. You have one investigator who is on secondment from the police. You have a lawyer who is on secondment from Attorney General's office. And that's that. Yes.
So no
the rest then will be gatemen, cleaners,
right,
stewards, an office secretary, a special assistant to the office. In all, I counted 10. First day, second day, one resigned because I asked him some questions he couldn't provide answers to. He took flight. So So within 24 hours, 9. But 9 with only 1 on payroll. What are you going to do? You have to set the office up. You have to operationalize it. And from 5th August to now, we've done a lot and achieved a lot. So if I may give you some examples of what the office is mandated to do. I'm not going to go into details because that will take a whole lecture.
Okay.
Dishonest receiving, extortion, corruption of a judicial officer, corruption of or by public officer. My favorite one is false declaration in respect of elections. so
right.
And let me be clear here,
right.
and the public should know this. I'm not the Supreme Court.
Right.
But thankfully, I don't have to wait for a collation of the paying sheets at the Supreme Court to make a case.
Okay.
If you're a returning officer or you're a presiding officer and you change the results, I'm coming for you.
Then you will go for people
Yes.
from the last
It
election.
ends there. It ends there. So it will make petitioners petitions perhaps easier for them if they are challenging, for instance, parliamentary results or some other thing. No one is looking at this thing, but it is under the mandate of the OSP. Immediately you declare the results. I'm calling for it, and I'm marching polling station to polling station what you have done. And if I find a discrepancy, then you should be answering to me as to why from the transference from the pink sheet to the blue sheet, there is a gap. And immediately you are not offering a reasonable excuse, I'm prosecuting you for that offense.
That's interesting.
Respect of elections. so
right.
And let me be clear here,
right.
and the public should know this. I'm not the Supreme Court.
Right.
But thankfully, I don't have to wait for a collation of the paying sheets at the Supreme Court to make a case.
Okay.
If you're a returning officer or you're a presiding officer and you change the results, I'm coming for you.
Then when you picked up your handing over notes, did you have any though? Do you get any handing over?
Yes, there was a document.
Oh, there was a document. Was there anywhere in that document where you noticed or sensed interferences previously in that office?
Well, not that not that I went on to verify, because that was not really my concern. But of course, in the document, instances where the previous office holder had stated those things in it.
He mentioned that the president interfered with his work. Was that evident in the handing over notes?
There was some talk of interference in the notes, but as I said, it wasn't for me to go verify whether there was interference or not. That
wasn't it important to verify?
If you've noticed, I keep saying I don't want to dwell on the past. It's the past. It's gone. I can only learn from it, but I won't dwell on it. Of course, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. So I look at the past, and inform myself with it as I go ahead. But dwelling on it is just going to draw me back. Why should I live in the past? I go forward.
So here's my question. Why wouldn't he dwell on things in the past? He's appointed as the special prosecutor for Ghana to overlook all cases that has to do with corruption. So if a case has to do with corruption before he came into that office, why would he prevent himself from going back and taking a look at those things? Should he, if he cannot do that, should he be resigning? Because it looks as though he wants to just look forward. But there were rots in the back, including some that you would even accuse the NDC of. Why wouldn't he look back? And that's my question. And then my other question is, should we be asking Mr. Kisia Jaben to look into the election result of 2020? And that, let's start with FR first.
Yeah, thank you very much for your. You see, I hate public servants or people that you say media talk. You see, corruption fight is action, not talk. You know, we've had enough of the talk from Martin Amidu. So, Kisi, please, action. You see, that is why you've been put there, right?
Right.
Whatever is wrong, you've been put there. And as we speak, the corruption is still going on. So please, not talk. If you need 10 people to be on payroll, it is not there. Do it. Put them on there.
He's hiring 250 people, but his board is not yet in place. So once the board is in place, he would actually announce the people that he's hired.
Okay, so tell whoever is supposed to appoint the board to do it, and we go. See, you get what I mean?
Right.
So talk. No, I mean, this and handing over note. They said executive. What is executive interference? Okay, so you see, we want specifics. Who called you that this case drop it? If you can't mention the name, that's fair. There's a
speculation. Actually saying the president. Maybe I kind of made it sound a lot better, but in other words, he's saying that Amidu actually made it clear in his report that the president interfered with his investigation into the Ajapa deal.
Yeah, but how did the president? Okay, so you see, again, if you use a term where you're still putting us into the speculative, the president interfered with my work. Okay, Amudu is not letting me do this and that. What did the president tell you? Phone call, written something? What is it? What was it?
The president told him not to release the report.
Excuse me, what did you say?
I think the president told him not to release the report, that he should come to see him and not release the reports, etc., etc. Yeah. It's
okay, but he released it.
The Japan corruption risk report.
But yeah, he released it. No, the president responded to all those allegations and all that kind of stuff. You see? Okay, so whatever it is, you've been informed, right? You've been told and blah, blah, blah. The president reacted to all those epistles. He was there. One of the things that I also found, that I could not, that there was no letterhead and, those administrative things that were supposed to have been created for smooth handling of the office and all that were not put in place. You see, listen, the challenges are there. And just as Domilevo said, there are people that are going to resist you everywhere, global. You fight corruption, you fight crime, the crime will fight you. Okay, right. So fight it and be seen that the crime is, and let us know who is interfering. Okay, if you cannot do the job, quit, get out. You get what I mean? This thing talk and all that kind of stuff. I don't even get it. So
yeah, but the fact that he's saying that he doesn't want to go back and look into things like
no, I don't think that statement means he's not going to go back and look into whatever Amidu was doing, that he was going to leave all of them and going forward. So
yeah, he made it clear, emphatically clear that he doesn't want to look back. He does not want to go back into those things.
If you pick up Alfred, if you pick up the office, it is not your whims and caprices. So no, that's not what the law says. That okay, so somebody writes to you to look into the which deal, say the Ajapa deal, and you say you're going to tell them you are not going to do it.
Yeah, he says that he can initiate a case by petition, but he doesn't have to, because when he gets the petition, he has to do a preliminary investigation to determine whether that petition is worth going forward with. And there are so many petitions that he cast aside because he doesn't think those ones are worth moving forward with, because the state has to make a decision. Is it in the state's interest? And etc.
Exactly. So if somebody brings you a case, you are supposed to report that, maybe I looked at it and it doesn't look like you think. So which means you've drawn a conclusion on it, right?
Right.
So if they don't agree, then they can take it up to the next level. But you cannot say that, okay, somebody wants you to look through something that happened in the past and that whether it is this, and whether it's Amidu or someone else, and then you say, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I don't think that is how the law. Then at the end of the day, then it is the same thing, that somebody can say somewhere and determine which one to look through and which one not to look through. The law is not there for Kisi Ejabeng. The law is there for the special prosecutor to act. And the person, Kisi Ejabeng, is different from the special prosecutor. You are doing as the law says and not what Kisi Ejabeng feels. Whatever you feel must be within the law. See, we go back and
Yeah,
forth
he
on.
almost feel like he's been, he's somebody's probably somewhere whispering in his ear that, look, you can touch this, you can touch that. Because
No.
I don't see how a special prosecutor who has the responsibility to prosecute any case bordering on corruption in Ghana will sit down and say, there is some interference in the past, but I don't want to look at that. Even regardless of whether it has all the tentacles of corruption or not, I don't want to look at that. How does he come to that conclusion? And to me, that tells me that this guy is telling me that he can fulfill his duties. That is one of his duties. Regardless of when it happens, if there's corruption involved, he should be able to investigate and, protect Ghanaians' resources from being, subjected to corruption and distributed among family and friends. That's what he should be going after.
Yeah, Alfred, I think that is misunderstood. I don't think it means there are cases he's not going to go through. I don't think that is what it means. Because then other than that, the past goes, then we're looking forward. No, I don't think what it means. I think it is the brouhaha, somebody is interfering and all blah blah. I think that is the things he doesn't want to deal with, and not the actual cases of corruption.
But why wouldn't he want to deal with that if the president interfered with the investigation on a deal? The president interfered with a corrupt risk assessment on a deal that even people close to him are fingered in. Why wouldn't he look into that? Yeah, but no. When the president, when Amadou reported on that. So this issue of the word interfered, I don't even get it. And the president office responded to that particular when he resigned and was making all these allegations, right? Yeah, but Amadou's investigation was a preliminary investigation that would actually launch a full-blown investigation. So you would expect that the new special prosecutor taking, what has been established in Amadou's report would have wanted to look deeper, but he's excluding himself from touching that. He's telling us that he doesn't want to touch that. And that's why I'm saying that if he doesn't want to touch that, then should he is it fit for that office? Should he be resigning? Because we want him to be capable to be able to touch all corruption-related cases without eliminating any. Right. Yeah. I don't want us to go back and forth on it. I don't think the statement he made meant that specifically he wasn't going to touch, the past. You see, there is a lot that Amadou was working on, right? So, and then the risk assessment of Ejapa was one of it, right? So that one cannot be singled out. What about the report that was asked to him directly? The risk assessment on Ejapa deal is specifically was the one that was asked to him, and he said he doesn't want to touch that. He doesn't want to go back into. He doesn't want to touch. He doesn't want to look into that one. Yeah. He doesn't want to look into those things, some of those things that were happening in the past. He wants to look forward. It sounds like there's something even he is afraid of. And I'm saying that something like that. I mean, if you haven't listened to the tape, maybe listen to it. For me, I didn't listen to it fully, but I don't think whatever statement he made meant he wasn't going to go into allegations that have been made into the past that the special prosecutor was working on. Then I mean that is a no right there. That is a no. When it comes to corruption, right? I hate this media stuff. Corruption is action. It is like football. Stop bragging on radio and go to the field and play and score or be scored. You get what I mean? Okay. So I don't want the Martinamidi thing. Long writings and media. I don't have this, and I don't want to hear all that. And that I'm gonna stop somebody and ask them. Go and stop. Go on the street. There are a lot of people living ostentatious life. We don't know their resources. Go and work. Right. Okay. He also says if you are a returning officer of an election and you receive, collated figures and you happen to do anything that either change a figure or misplace the figure or did something that's reported that affected the result of the election, that he wouldn't have to wait for Supreme Court to make an announcement, or didn't have to pay attention to whatever judgment the Supreme Court issued, that he can investigate you. So do you think he should be investigating the 2020 elections?
I think when it comes to elections, I don't know if the act specifically talk about it. That I'm not privy to, but
He said that I talked about it in force under his office.
I don't know.
So,
I don't think whatever the act said is bigger than the Supreme Court. Or there's nothing that is bigger than what the Supreme Court will say in the country. So I don't know specifically what it means, but I mean, those who have problem with the law can take it to him, and then we test it and come out with what that specifically then he's talking about means, and then we take it up from there. But Alfred, what I'm going to say about all these things is that it is plain and simple. We have a problem in the country which is called corruption. Okay. And then there is the belief that because the government appoints the Attorney General, that it is not going to prosecute some cases. So the special prosecutor has come. Work. Martin was appointed. We all were happy that he was going to butcher and all that kind of stuff. We didn't see. You see, you have this thing, you have the opportunity now. Let us see the action, regardless of who is in there, so that we know that we're working on corruption as a people, as a country, and not the media stuff. No. You give us results in the media, not the problems. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's go to my brother Paul on this. Paul,
yes.
Do you think, this new special prosecutor is afraid of something now? Also, do you think you should go ahead and investigate Jean Mensah, especially because the election results turn out to be different results at different times, and she couldn't go on to testify? And so there are questions still unanswered. Do you think you should actually call Jean Mensah for an investigation?
So, Alfred, I will want Ato.
Question. Are you afraid to meet me on camera? That's why you're hiding behind your camera today.
I want my friend Ato and then my brother Ifa to help me. This tree proverb. I'm not an account. I'm a Voltairean, a proud Voltairean as such. There's a proverb which says that Aponchini finsuasi bekacho se dencheme wa.
Oh, aponchini finsuasi bekacho.
Aponchini.
If finsuasi bekacho dencheme wa.
It means that if comes out of the pond to tell you that someone is dead.
No, I want you to complete the phrase for me. Aponchini finsuasi bekacho se dencheme wa.
You cannot. You
cannot contest him, right?
Yeah. In fact, the real diction is bomochiche.
Okay. Thank you very much for helping me. And Alfred, I am saying this because I am happy that my brother Ifa today is being very cautious in praising the special prosecutor, because I know, and I told you, I have a video clip which I was on air with Ifa about Patio show. Ifa praises Martin Amidu, and as if the whole world has come to an end. And I cautioned him on that program, telling him that be careful, and that whoever Martin Amidu is, don't put too much trust in him, because we know him. We know he cannot do nothing. And lo and behold, I was served right. That is why I'm giving this proverb back to him. And I am happy that
you're right.
I am happy.
He's right. Yeah. And thank you for the advice.
Thank you very much. I'm happy he's admitting and he's not trying to sour praises on an academician.
Yeah, you're right.
Ejabin. I am happy he's taking that course. And I agree with whatever he has said about him. Kisi Ejabin is an academician. We, academic students, we are trained to be bold, fearless, and speak our mind. I hope and I believe and I trust that whatever Ifa has said, I support Ifa. He should stop the talking and do the work.
Right.
The work that has been given to him, he should tackle the work and deal with the work. And for him saying that he doesn't want to go to past issues, any corruption or a crime is a crime.
Right.
A crime has no time limit. Whether it was okay or it okay under the NDC, it involved NDC people. He wants to go into. He should go into it. If it's MPP, he should go into it. Ghana has gotten to the stage whereby we need to stop this MPP, NDC, and cry for Mother Ghana. The corruption scandals are becoming too much. And I want him to go back into all the cases that Martin Amidu was working on, which he did not complete. Irrespective of the president's interference, the president has come out, of course, to say that that's not what he did. But it's a fact also that Martin Amidu or Kenneth Oforiatta visited Martin Amidu in his house on a Sunday, which is a form of interference. Let's put those things behind us. I am saying that my old boy, Blebu boy, Kisi Ejaben, should try as much as possible to be independent.
Right.
He should not try to wear the shoe of Akufo-Addo. He should not try to force Akufo-Addo to force him to wear his shoes. He should wear his own shoes, independent, transparent, deal with the issue, whether it is NDC, deal with the person. If it is NPP, deal with the person. The corruption that is happening in Ghana, those money can be used to develop our country, and we all have to support this gentleman to succeed. Now, coming to the fact of, he investigating the EC people, if they put down different figures, it's part of his duty, I believe, because he's supposed to make sure that nobody does anything that will cause financial loss to the state. If my brother Efa cares to know, as we speak, we have 6 different figures, and my brother Efa and my brother Atu has not, as I speak, they'll not be able to tell me which of the figures is the correct figures. So, for me, I'll be very happy having him calling or auditing the EC, the super incompetent J. Adukwe Mensah, for him to come out and let's know what are the true figures of the 2020 election. What is the valid vote count? If he has that power, I will support him to do it. I will end by saying that if that power is within his jurisdiction, he should exercise it. And moving forward in 2024, whether the person stole the election for the NDC or MPP, this is not supposed to be done. We want transparency. Let's work as a country. Let's trust in our system. And the only way we can trust in our system is when people are accounted for their injustices, their corrupt act, and their connections that they do to favor one party. If only people are punished, this thing will become a thing of the past, whereby election will come. There will not be time for election that we will have to send our polling agents there. Go and cast your ballot. It will be counted free and fair, because you know, if you do any kululu, the law will come after you. And I believe and I trust that my brother, Blebu boy, Kisi Ejaben, should do the best he can. He should refuse to wear the shoe of Akufo-Addo and my brother Efa. He should never put his leg into the shoe of my brother Efa or the president Akufo-Addo. No matter the situation is, he should investigate whatever he wants to investigate. Whether it is, I know Efa will come and tell me whatever. He's been using this that investigation that went on in UK, which they've ruled out and they are calling government official one. If he should go into it, we are open. The Mahama has said that he has nothing to hide. Whoever wants to investigate should go into any investigation. And I believe this Ejapa deal, PDS deal, the Mary Innovation deal that they were trying to make 800 million out of Ghanaians, the 11 contracts that were awarded to one person on the same day, the PPA deals, all these deals should be looked into. Anybody caught on the hook should be dealt with. This is what I have to say.
You're on mute.
You are calling from. Caller, can you hear me? Please mention your name. Tell us where you're calling from and your contribution.
Yeah, Alfred, can you hear me? I can hear you loud and clear. Hello, Alfred?
Guys, can you hear him?
Yes, I can hear him.
Yeah, we all can hear him. I think you can speak through this thing and they can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear him.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, okay. So Alfred, this is our Boslinga right here. I just want to call and say thank you for the good job that you're doing.
Yeah, Boslinga, thanks for calling.
And also to put in my 2 cents into what you guys are discussing. First of all, I just want to touch base with that Chini Jonas issue and then Hopes in Adoye and all those issues.
Okay.
I think it's very unfortunate for our brother Paul to come out and say that Akufo-Addo flew all the way from Ghana just to go to a Facebook headquarters and then tell them to take down the account of Chini Jonas. That is unfortunate. I know he took it back, but the whole point is you don't come on air and then come and tell lies and later on take it back. What does it do to your credibility?
Right.
How about next time? Am I supposed to take what you say? You cannot just. You have to come with a verified information,
right?
So no one can prove you wrong.
So you mean he knew about him not going to Facebook before he said it, and then he took it back? So that kind of impacts his credibility to you.
Yes, I mean, come on, Alfred. He's supposed to. This show is educational, right?
Right.
So I mean, how about if you go to a school and the teacher tells you lies, and then later on comes, I didn't know.
Right.
You're supposed to know.
Okay.
Yeah. So and also I just want to say that, but on the other hand, I will say, it is unfortunate that that our Hopes and Adoye will come all the way from Ghana just to do things like that. I don't think that's the reason why he came, but I also think it's not necessary for what he did.
Right.
Is it criminal? No. But is it necessary? No.
I mean, if he showed up in his dwelling, then it's trespassing, which is a misdemeanor class B, and that carries with it, I think 2 weeks of jail time.
Yeah, I understand that, but since then, no one has come out and said anything. Has there been any report? No, we've not heard anything. So I believe that nothing of that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be up to Chini Jonas in this case to want to press the case, right? Otherwise,
Alfred, we don't even know what we're saying happened. So if it did, I know Chini Jonas. I know he talks that very much. He would have come out and said something. So I don't think none of those things happened.
Right.
But if it did, then they should come out and let us know. At least there should be a form of police report or something like that. America is a country of laws, so you cannot just come here and do anything you want.
Right.
So if something like that happened, they should make it out so we can see.
Right.
And then we can all, learn from it.
Right.
Going to the aircraft, it is very funny how we make comments about, President Akufo-Addo, he just want to live like an Arabian king and stuff like that. These are all cheap political talks. Okay?
You think so? Because I mean, the president is traveling and paying all these amounts while
I understand. I understand, but
we have a flight waiting for him, and the Liberian president is using his trotro. So, are people wrong when they say he's living like an Arabian king?
The whole point is who decides what the president, what aircraft the president takes? Who decides?
I think it's National Security and Air Force. Okay,
so then we should blame them then. You understand what I'm saying? We shouldn't just say, Akufo-Addo is this, Akufo-Addo is that. Who provides that info, that comfort to him? If they think it's necessary, then we should come out with laws that will limit, government involvement in whatever being presented to them. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's come out with policies that guides the presidential travel.
So what is the Air Force going to do if Akufo-Addo says, I don't want to take a specific plane?
Well, I don't think he can say that.
Why not? He's the president. Then
you don't go. Then you don't go.
I mean, nobody can stop him from going. Nobody can stop him from the type of plane he wants to use.
Listen,
He's the president.
We are not in Saudi Arabia. What the case is, whatever he wants. Okay.
Our president is very powerful. Our president is very powerful. You know that.
Yeah, he can advise them that, hey, maybe I need something like this. But then it's up to the Air Force and national security to provide him with whatever we have.
Right.
That is what I think. If that's not the case, then they should come out with a policy to guide his travels.
Right.
And then, so what I'm saying on that is, if you feel it's necessary, if we know that what they are claiming is true, that they need to buy a jet, right? Is way better than renting.
Right.
So if that is the case, then we should just allow for them to buy.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the one we have now. So why should they buy?
But they're saying that he's not using it, and I don't think he is the one saying
so
that.
So you're saying even if he buys a new one and the new president comes and say, "I don't want to use that one," we should go buy another one?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
We can do that.
Alfred, what I'm saying is, do we know why he's not using it? Is it because he said he doesn't want to use it?
I mean, they filed the questions and the ministers refused to answer that question. The why is that they answered was that.
Okay, then we should hold the minister then, because we cannot put it on the Akufo-Addo that he's saying he doesn't want to use this. That's why we need to rent.
Right.
Okay, we should find out why.
Reasons they gave. One of the reasons they gave, which we keep talking about, is there's 2 additional people who couldn't, like, it loses from 19 to 17 passengers depending on the time of the day, and then it doesn't go long range without refueling, and then it doesn't have a place for the president to refresh. And this
Alfred, Alfred, I understand all those things. Do we have a policy guidelines for presidential travel? If there is, then we should follow that. If there's not, then we need to come out with one. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we are in the middle of COVID. Everybody's tightening their belt. The president has introduced so many different taxes, and at the same time, the president is saying
you don't tighten your belt when it comes to security, okay?
Right.
You don't tighten your belt when it comes to presidential travels. We all know what can happen.
Okay.
So in that case, you don't say, because there's COVID, I can just take trotro, and then how about if something happens?
Okay.
So on that note, I'll thank you very much, and I also thank Paul, Ifa, and then my good friend Dr. Atu for doing an incredible job.
Thank you so much, Boslinga, who is also a host on the Akko Radio. He hosts the Health. Boslinga, what's the name of his Health and Wellness program, correct?
Yeah, that's Health and Wellness.
And it's on every Sunday, which is tomorrow.
Every Sunday, 10 to 12 Chicago time.
Correct. So if you are available, please watch Boslinga. You will learn a lot. I've learned a lot. I know how much sugar to take in my tea. I've learned about all kinds of different things, COVID and etc. And Boslinga has been doing a great job too. So, Boss, thanks so much for being the first person to try our line today. We are going to integrate this into our program.
So if you have Boslinga, who was NPP political colors, he will come here and be saying things and be tarnishing my credibility. The question over here is, he came here.
We'll let Boslinga go and then thanks for calling. All right, so he mentioned your name, so you can go ahead and respond to him. Paul, you go ahead and respond to some of the things Boslinga said.
I am saying that all he said is irrelevant. I am saying there is a picture out there that shows the president sitting at Facebook at their guest room. And I'm saying if the president go there because of this thing, that's what. But if I drew my attention that is not what happened. So what is the credibility issue he's talking about? He just came here to speak as another MPP communicator, as such it is, and he is an MPP communicator. And I don't care about whatever comment he gives. He's an MPP communicator. Thank you.
I don't think he's an MPP communicator, but it's just his opinion, and maybe he has a soft spot for the MPP.
Okay, right, he has a soft spot, and that's his opinion, my opinion too. So he should not come and attack my integrity. I can equally attack his integrity. So let him know. I know he's an MPP person. He always speaks for the MPP. That is why he said he greets his good friend Ato and Ifa, because they all are in the same party.
All right. Let's bring Ato in, Dr. Ato. So, Ajaben, came off as somebody, ready for this office with a lot of integrity coming into the position. But his utterances from this very first interview kind of made me to take a second look at this guy and say, is he afraid of anything? Has anybody tried to rein him in? Because he's telling us that there are things that he wouldn't want to look at. And I don't get it. If the thing has some corruption related dealing, then you should look at it. This is your job to look at it. And also about the election results. Do you think you should look into that as well?
Yes, let me quickly respond to my brother Paul. Paul, I don't know. I hope you know that I'm also in Chicago. So Ifa and Boslinga are obviously close
Chicago guys.
Anytime doesn't go your way, you tag me as MPP, which is okay. I mean, they are Ghanaians too. So let's go on with that. And also to Paul.
My brother too. You know, I know you're an APP person, but I'm getting so let's move on. I know you and I know you are an MPP person. You've always spoken for the MPP. You've always contributed towards the MPP. I know for a fact.
In the past, I have.
But I've stated it on this show that I don't care if you bring 5 people from the MPP. I can battle and I can beat all the 5 of you. I am capable of doing that, and my brother Ifa knows that. So I'm not bothered at all. Thank you.
All right, thanks. So again, to my friend Paul. I mean, there's a popular French literature author called André Gide. I don't know if you know him. He says that you cannot discover new oceans unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. Again, you can never discover new oceans unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. I'm saying that because I said this, I think, a couple of weeks ago about the 2016 elections. It appears the NDC is so much focused on that, and that they cannot discover new oceans unless they find the courage to just lose sight of that. That is a done deal. The Supreme Court, came up with orders. It is a done deal. It's good. Bob Marley will say that it's always better. The past is a window for the future. They can go back and find out what they did wrong and come up with new ideas. But it appears that the NDC is so much focused on that they may lose sight of 2020 elections, 2024 elections. That's why I put that down. In regards to Kisi, I really admire him, and I follow him a lot. I don't know, Alfred, if you read about Sidney Abugri, his episodes. I don't know if you know him. He used to write a lot. Now I wish that he would write now, because he used to write about NPP, NDC, and all this politics.
Right.
Stuff. I have listened to his interviews. I listened to the one with Kwame Makai, and he did really well. And I heard Ifa saying that he's supposed to do the work. He explained that even educating the public about his role is part of his mandate. So it's not like he's only out there talking. Talking about what he does is part of his mandate. After Amidou, if I had high hopes for Amidou. I read his episodes like a Bible. Like anytime he comes up, I read it over and over again and try to understand what he's saying. I thought he was excellent. And I really disregarded the NDC, what it was saying about him, how he treated males and all that. But I take it back. After Amidou, I feel like nobody could be the SP. I feel like the creation of this special prosecutor job, I think it's a waste of resources. I don't think there will be anybody in Ghana right now who will be appointed to investigate the current government. I don't think so. I feel like that creation. We have the Attorney General's office. We have the state legal office. Why this was created? After Amidou, I'm actually very disappointed. I don't think, although I admire this young chap, I added him as a friend on Facebook. Smart guy, very, very articulate, very, very intelligent. But after Amidou, what Amidou did in that position, I don't think that Mr. Kisi Ejaben will be effective at investigating the government. Maybe other corruption cases, maybe he can. But with this government, I don't think so. And I wish I would be privy to the information that he spoke to Nanaba about. If he doesn't go to the past, then I don't know what he's talking about. So he's thinking about future corruption issues. That would be very unfortunate, because we have so many cases that people have doubts about. So you would think that he would consider doing a retrospective analysis of what happened in the past.
Right.
Yes, about that. And in regards to what he said about
the election.
I read Amidou. Amidou's point was just an allegation of corruption. So it's not really, it's only an allegation. So I don't take that to be really a serious offense. If Amidou had proven that there was interference, then maybe I would say so. So I take that as a pinch of salt. I think that, like I said, if the MPP, if the special prosecutor wants to investigate the elections, he should. Because like I said, it will be a guide for the future. But again, like I said, the NDC is so much focused on the elections that they may lose sight of 2024.
Right.
If it's part of its mandate to investigate all corruption issues. And if we are saying that the 2024 elections were not done correctly, then he must investigate. But like I said, the NDC may lose sight of 2024 if they are still looking at 2020 and the elections and what happened. So those are my comments. The special prosecutor, that job after Amidu, I think it's a waste of resources, a waste of our time. The Attorney General should be able to investigate corruption issues in the state. And then when they're out of office, we have somebody come. Otherwise, we're going to come up with corruption issues that will not, like Amidu said, it wasn't a lot of interference. Why would the minister go to his house at 4 a.m. in the morning? Who does that? So I feel like...
Right, to discuss what? I don't get it.
To discuss what? Although I know that he's a brilliant lawyer, he's a brilliant chap, I feel like this position is a waste of our time, that the Attorney General's office should be able to come up with ideas that we can do investigation. I don't think it's anybody in Ghana who will be able to investigate the current government if they are appointed as special prosecutor. Thank you.
All right.